You're listening to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends recap romance novels while loving a feral cat and demanding justice for these nymphs.
Stack ourselves with the clinches out. Shout it from the rooftop, can you hear the sound? Yeah. Live your best life, love it out loud. Love it out loud.
Hey, HBs. Ooh, I am so stoked for part 2 of this book. These two are magnetized to each other and yet so bullheaded in all the best ways. Remember, this Friday on Patreon and our Apple Podcast subscription, Sabrina and I are recapping the second half of Dark Sky by Kresley Cole. We jump right in where our hero starts seeing the error of his Madonna horror worldview and realizing that the worst version of the world is actually one without Lanthe in it at all. A great lesson, but woo, we're gonna need a good grovel. That's this Friday. Some of you absolute legends just started supporting us on Patreon, and we are over the moon about it. So please accept our deepest gratitude. Stephanie H., Sabrina L., Jen W., Rachel JT, Harriet, and Stephanie S. When our episode ended yesterday, our heroine Joe had just pulled a big ol' voyeurism on Rune as he secured his newest informants with his penis. And while he couldn't see her, he could smell her. So he's on the hunt to find her. That's where we begin part 2 of Sweet Ruin by Kresley Cole with our pal Alexis.
Remember, she's a feral
fair.
cat.
Yeah.
She is like, I've seen them from afar. I don't know if it's safe to approach.
Yeah.
But Rune is watching her, and Rune is
Rune is in it to win it.
in.
That alabaster skin, that hurt ass. Oh my God. Her
he
tits
is
are
like,
perfect handfuls.
mwah.
She is his dream woman.
Yes.
Well, and when
yes.
he
and
catches up to her, she tells him because she is a queen at just putting him in his place when he thinks that he's a bad bitch about something. Because she's like, well, if your performance is going to be predictable, at least you're good at archery. And he's like, whoa, I can smell that you liked what you just watched. How dare you? And she says, you got a Woody, I got a Weddy. Doesn't mean mine was for yours. And I was like, Joe, I'm obsessed with you.
She is such a queen, and he loves it. He loves that she is like willing to go, because also like I think part of being Moriar is like, it's novel. He is used to being either manipulating or like the thing that creatures fear, and so like here she is. She's just like giving him a hard time, and also she's kind of like, I'm not taking these panties off for you. Like,
she's not falling over herself. She's not slavering to get his pants off, which is the norm for him.
Yes.
Because he's sort of become a legend. He's got like a horse cock that doesn't quit.
Exactly.
And this is his specialty, right?
Yes.
Well, and then they keep talking, and at one point he goes, what are you? And she immediately loses interest because, or she doesn't lose interest, but she's walking away because that's the whole point of talking to him. Is she wants to know what she is, and he doesn't know. So like, you're no longer the person. Yeah, I think you're hot, but like, this is not going to be what I need it to be.
Right.
To learn
She's
about.
doing to him what he does to countless others. And it's interesting to me that in this book, so Rune is Fae, dark Fae, but like unlike sort of our normal mythology about the Fae, he doesn't have a problem with the lying, right? Like that's not how it works in the IAD universe. That's actually a vampire thing. And she is very good. she actually exhibits a lot of the Fae traits.
Yes.
She doesn't
She can
lie,
talk sideways.
but she can talk sideways, right?
Yeah.
She lets people assume things. She doesn't, right? And he kind of thinks, oh, okay, then I know what you are. Like, this is how vampires work. Like, I get it. Like, but she is, it's interesting to watch her sort of dance around answering any of his questions legitimately, and him try to chase her. And this is where
I start going, and you're the
master spy?
You're the master spy guy, buddy?
I mean, in his defense, later on, he keeps on, like, basically mentally slapping himself across the face and being like, stop giving her information. She gives you information.
Yes, exactly.
He's just not picking up on any of the subtle clues that, like, buddy, she doesn't, you think the fact that we get, like, 70% of the book before 80% before he finds out she knows nothing about the lore? I'm like,
nothing.
Buddy.
Yeah.
It's so great.
You are
dickmatized. Clipmatized. So she decides, she's like, I'm done here. And she pats his chest and she's leaving. And he says, wait, I didn't catch your name. And she goes, because I didn't toss it, sport. Only good boys get rewards. And then she, like, turns and saunters away from him. And then this is one of my favorite ends to a chapter because it just, like, really, it gives you a huge insight into him. He doesn't understand why he's, like, tensing to follow her. And it says, he'd become the master of his impulses. For the first hellish centuries of his life, his body and his mind had been commanded by another. No longer. But the damage had been done. He'd grown so detached during his early abuse that he'd felt like two separate beings, and one was dead. Rune had stifled the fire within him for so long, he'd extinguished it. And yet his heart thundered in his ears as he watched his voyeur melt into the crowd.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. That's why, like, Rune does not think that nymphs are sluts, right?
No.
He's been there. He gets it. Like, he understands.
And at least they get to do it by choice.
Yes.
That's exactly. They have agency in it. So that's even better.
Yes. Yeah. And so, like, and also, I mean, yes, his heartbeat isn't getting high because this is just like work, but also because he understands he has had to train himself to detach in sexual experiences, right? That's the only way he was able to survive that abuse. And so, like, that's his default programming. So it's so unsettling for him to, like, watch someone and have his sexuality, like, his sexual response be out of his control. Exactly. Because that control for so long has been, like, the moment he could snatch that back and be safe, it's survival, right? So, like, and he's a survivor, just like Joe is a survivor, right? Yeah. So, like, ooh, like, she's sanding it up. And so she's sanding it up.
That's one of the things that they really end up connecting over, right? Like, or finding similarities between each other, but also it's the fact that they're both deeply looking for connect. They don't even realize that that's what they want, but they kind of do, because even he's looking for other dark fae, right? Like, he's looking for somebody like him because he thinks that's the only person he'll ever be able to be with. But they both want something. And then in this next book, we're from her point of view. She's thinking about, like, everything that she saw and, like, him and everything. And then this line obliterates me, because we find out that her favorite thing to do when she's not revenging for sex workers is she likes to body hop, basically, and live life in other people's bodies and or like experience things in other people's
once again,
bodies.
Just like a voyeur as well. She's just taking a ride, and she's seeing through that person's perspective. And so, like, when she hops into a bride's body, the groom is telling her how much he loves her.
Exactly.
And
this one is she hops into an old couple sitting on a bench, and she's stargazing with them and just hangs out with them for a while. And then this line guts me, says, stargazing for one had to be the loneliest hobby. Yeah. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah. Joe sighed. If she had someone real of her own, He would hold her like that. He'd own her heart, and that would anchor her to him. He'd never let her float away.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she feels unmoored in the world.
Yes, exactly. And so she is also, the other thing you learn in this chapter is that she has stolen something from Rune.
Oh,
Baby girl can't help herself. This is how she rolls. She is an excellent pickpocket.
Yeah. And they're like memento. Well, but I love it because it's not necessarily even like a klepto response or whatever.
No.
She takes them because it is a memento of this moment she had of connection with each of these people.
Even if it's not real.
Even if it's not real.
Exactly. But in our case, this is a romance.
She takes something pretty fucking important.
She takes something pretty important from him.
So we mentioned earlier that we're just going to talk about it now.
Yeah. We should explain it now. It makes more sense now.
And because we've given a little bit of his backstory, right? But we're not going to give you all of the information. I don't think it makes sense to give you all of his backstory in the snippets necessarily that we learn it.
Yeah.
So we have discussed a little bit, like, relatable. He's a sex worker, you know, and he uses sex to get information and works with the nymphs like that. But his backstory is we mentioned earlier, he is considered an abomination by people. And his mother was essentially a paramour of king.
No, I thought she was a slave.
Yeah, she wasn't.
She was a slave.
I thought she was referred to as like either way. Yeah, that was a very nice way to phrase it because you are 100% correct.
I think.
Maybe there were feelings.
Yes, that's what I would say. I think that like maybe from his point of view, the dude that she was a paramour. Her point of view was
yes.
I don't really got a lot of options here, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. That's fair.
And his dad is the Fae King.
Yes. Yes.
So he ends up knocking her up, and he's not the only bastard child of this Fae King. But normally dark Fae like this are stoned in infancy. Because they're so taboo as beings. It's awful. But he gets saved because the king is like, you know what? You're my progeny, so you're special. You can stick around. Yeah. But when the king dies, he's like 15. He knows that like his days are numbered. But when he gets captured, he isn't taken to the gallows or whatever. He's taken to the king's wife.
Yes.
Queen Mog, the uncanny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or the canny. I'm so sorry.
The canny, yeah.
She says, with malice in her gleaming blue eyes, she'd explained, many of my foes could be tempted by a sensual creature like you. My assassins fail to get past sentinels, yet you would seduce your way into a place where no guards attend, the bedroom. Even if divested of your weapons, you carry death in your very blood. Your escapes would be easier still. With some help, you could pass as a full-blooded fae. Who would suspect you can teleport like a demon? Which is a thing in the IAD universe. Demons can teleport. And so she wants him to be an assassin and a sex worker. And he does not get to... This is not a choice. This is not him being like, here's what my skills are and here's how I'm going to use them. This is her being like, this is the only way you stay alive. Is to do this work for me.
He carries this trauma with him for the entirety of his life because that's why he feels like we end up like one of the big climactic conflicts in this book, interpersonal conflicts, is this belief that this is all he's good for.
Yes. Yep. And you will note, Sabrina, you said a really good point that like you keep joking and you keep being like, he's actually not like very good at this spy stuff. And like, he's not, babe. But that's not why he's on this team. But he can't see that right now.
That's why he thinks he's on
That's why he thinks he's on this team. And that's the only thing he thinks he brings to the table. And so, you know, Orion sort of saves him, gives him a space to be. And I think it's fair to say Rune's loyalty then is impeccable,
indelible.
Like it's like he is like, oh no, this creature saved my life. Like I exist because this creature
he sees me as an autonomous being.
Yes, and that's so important to him. And so his like lack of commitment is not just like he's a man-ho, right? Like his lack of commitment is actually, no, that's how I maintain, that's how I know I'm me.
Well, it's also,
that's how I know I'm
he's
okay
already
and
committed.
safe.
He's already committed.
Yes. He's like
committed
the only
to
people
Orion and the Moriar.
Yes, that's it.
Yep.
Everybody else, sorry for you.
Yeah.
Nobody else can touch me.
Yeah.
And we find out that remind me exactly how this goes, because he has this talisman because he has a letter from his mother.
Oh, it's
that was given to him.
It is.
Woof. So his
know.
mom is captured basically by the same queen bitch.
Yeah.
And she has the mom write him a letter. And since his mom was so devastated about this, his mom was given a choice, like, you can help your son stay alive, but you're going to like go and do whatever I tell you to do.
Yes.
And in return, I will allow him to live.
Yes.
And so his mom's like, yeah, of course. You know, this is not a choice, and not even in like a bad way, right?
Yeah.
Like there is no choice because of her love for him. And so she's crying when she writes this letter to him. It's a goodbye letter being like, you know, I love you, and there's, you know, you're the best thing, and like all the stuff, but she's warning him about things. But because the tears were blotched on the page, he can't read a lot of it.
Right.
And then she also sends this little flat piece of bone that has runes carved into it. And that is really the legacy, the inheritance that he gets from his mom, is her knowledge of rune magic and it's everything from like warding to healing to, you know, it's a huge array.
But it's like the last of his kind style thing. So the language is unknown.
He has no idea what these runes are. He's never seen them before.
Yes, exactly. And guess what your girl stole? That talisman. And here's the thing. He's frankly not even mad about it.
No, he's impressed.
He's impressed, and he's low-key kind of excited to track her down and get it back.
One of my favorite reasons that he's impressed is not only is he like spy master, right? So it's already really hard to pickpocket him.
Yeah.
But also when he was around her, he was so engorged with want, and his cock was so big in his pants that how could she have gotten into his pocket without like brushing that tip or something? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, how could that have happened?
This is why you keep the talisman in the pocket that you sway to, you know? Like, you gotta make sure the dick is closer to the important pocket
I know.
thing.
Well, you know,
what he doesn't know is that she's perfected the art of making her, like, at least a piece of her body go immaterial, and whatever she's touching at the time also becomes immaterial.
Exactly.
So she can just sort of, like, enter the pocket and remove the thing without actually, like, touching anything IRL.
Yes.
It's wild.
Exactly.
But anyway, he's impressed.
So he's impressed.
He ends up catching up with her, finding her in a courtyard. They end up fighting over this talent. Also, I am fully just about to railroad us through some stuff. Stop me when you want to, because my God, we're like 10% into the book.
Yeah, I know.
No, it's true. Keep us moving. Moving.
They end up fighting over this talisman in the courtyard, and she can't stop herself. Like, she ends up tasting his blood because, like, she gives him a good knock or something, and when she does, she's like, oh my God, this is the most delicious thing I've
in the
ever.
forehead. It's incredible.
Yes.
And then they have the horniest fucking time because she licks it up, and he's like, no.
He thinks she's gonna die.
Happens.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
And then because of that, he's got her like up against the wall. He's caged her against the wall. And so she just puts her face right into his neck.
Yes.
He says, she puts her tongue to his thumb. because he's taken some of his own blood for her, and he says, suck it. And then when she draws his thumb into her mouth, he says, so damned beautiful. I don't know how this is possible, female, but the plans I have for you, I'm going to eat you alive. Because all of these things that he's always wanted to do, kiss, go down on somebody, like all of these things that would involve, you know, liquids touching membranes, he can do for the first time.
And that she can't get enough of, he says she can't get enough of my Bane blood.
Yes.
He loves that she thinks it's delicious. He is like, oh my God.
Bane blood is a bad term. Like, you do not, like, that is a derogatory as fuck term. And so he's, like, reclaiming it for himself right now.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Like, it's great
and
to
on
watch.
top of all of that, remember, it's canon in IAD universe that vampire bites are orgasmic.
Boom.
So, like, all this is, it's all of that with this giant cherry on top.
Exactly.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
And then there's one point where he gets really vulnerable and he's like,
did I taste okay?
Does it taste okay? And she's like, it's the best thing I've ever tasted. And he's like, oh, okay. I'm so happy.
And he doesn't know that she's never drunk from the source before because she's never bitten anyone. She thinks it's like weird and icky and they all smell wrong. And it's like, bleh. But he smells so good. Oh my God. I'm just sorry. I turned a page and it says, then suck me like you mean it, you little bitch. She did, piercing him deeper, moaning into his flesh. Ooh.
So then they're about to bone down, and then he really just does the fucking boy. Now's not the time. He is literally about to enter when some nymphs roll into the courtyard, and they're like, "Oh my God, Rune! I thought we heard you over here." And he basically plans an assassination for Dawn.
Yeah. He's like, I'm busy right now, but like take a number and I'll see you in a minute.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Joe
doesn't play like that.
She's not into it. And here's the thing. She is really serious about the fact that, like, she is not confused about the fact that she's like, oh no, I deserve to be loved. Oh God, sorry. Are you confused? I deserve everything. And it's like, it's one of the things that I love about her.
Same.
Because on paper, you could make a case for all the reasons why she would accept bullshit.
Yes.
But Joe does not suffer fools.
Yes.
And so Rune, like, he does not know, like, who he's messing with. And she's like, immediately is like, ugh. God, this fucking asshole. Like,
and I also love it because there's never a moment where she's like, nymphs are slutty.
No.
It's never judgmental on nymphs. It's always just like, are you going to be wishy-washy and a fuckhead, or are you going to worship me like I deserve? Because otherwise, I have no time for you. I also love the fact that, given Joe's history, it would be really easy for someone to look at all of the times she's been betrayed by adults, by authority figures. She doesn't remember being loved as a child. She doesn't have memories of any upbringing.
No.
So you could look at that psychology and be like, that person is immediately going to be like, connection is a weakness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But to Joe, her whole thing is like, people who fall in love, people who make that commitment, they're the real superheroes.
Yes.
Actually, it says, when two people form an unbreakable bond, it's like a reactor, feeding them power and heat and a sense of belonging.
Yes.
It makes them strong. They are the true superheroes. And it's also really wonderful because, like, the phantom part of her, spoiler alert, it makes her very sort of like naturally gaunt. Yes. And she plays up on that by like wearing combat boots and like she's very goth in style. So it's a little jarring for him.
It is
to look at this goth badass, this snarky, bitchy goth badass who's like, no, I will be the fairy princess that you fawn over, or else.
Yeah.
That's it.
Like, she's like, when she gets disrespected in this book, it says she swatted her skirt down because he tells her he doesn't do jealousy, right?
Yeah.
So she says she swatted her skirt down, possessive, as if I'd want you for my own. And then in her thoughts, she goes, I kind of wanted you for my own. I want someone for my own.
Yeah.
And then she tells him, and I love this line, she says, you're just a blood bag in a big dicked package who didn't last long enough to get me off. Like
I
queen
love it.
shit. Queen shit. So she's like,
I
fuck
love
you
her
and fuck
so
the horse
much.
you rode in on.
I love
She is
her.
not having it. And like, he admittedly like is like, wait, sorry, what? What
Yeah, but-
just happened?
This
What? What?
Because his whole
everyone
thing is
falls
like,
over him.
and he's always in control. And so what we
Yes.
didn't tell you, listener, is that as she's biting him, he comes in his pants.
Yes. Yes.
It's like he fully loses control. They hear him because he bellows into the ether.
Yes.
His
Yes.
absolute, bliss. And
Exactly.
so she's just like, I'm sorry, you came? I'm just over here. What?
Hello. Right.
You haven't done anything for me. And then
Exactly.
she fucks off.
Even
It's great.
as that's
Yeah.
how, like, as you're like, you didn't even have the courtesy to get me off, and you're
Yeah.
fucking planning nymphscapades.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Exactly.
dude.
Exactly. But he is freaked out. Jealousy freaks him out because it feels like ownership. And he
Yeah.
has determined I will never be owned
Yeah.
by like
Yes.
anybody, by anything at any time. And so
Yep.
they are like on a cliff. And
They're
she
at an
walks
impasse.
away. She fucks off. Like you said,
Yeah.
she's like, peace.
My other favorite thing is that Rune is very cognizant of power dynamics at all times.
Yes.
And so he tries to be like, oh my God, you're like being pretty clingy and like,
Yeah.
ugh, you're so like,
Yeah.
this possession thing is like icky and gross. And then she immediately turns that power dynamic on him and
Yes.
humiliates him in the most perfect way.
Yes.
That
it's
just
mwah.
yoinks it right back. Ugh, it's
Yes.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So,
But
I mean,
when she gets home, she realizes that now he has stolen her bullet necklace, her
Exactly.
one memento, the thing that's
Yep.
keeping her from, like, reminding her to stay the fuck away from her brother and not taint his life with her yuck.
damn right. Because
Oh, so now she has to find
I'ma tell you,
him.
he ain't no slouch.
Well,
He ain't no
then
slouch.
so she does go find him again, and he is fucking those nymphs. And she does
Wowie.
just
100%.
stand there and watch him for a while. And she's like, wow, he really did the thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he can smell her. She
Yeah.
doesn't know that he can smell her. Even when
Yes.
she's in her, like, even when she's gone ghost, he knows
Yes.
she's there. He doesn't know
Yes.
how she's there, but
Actually,
he knows.
Wait. Point of order. He is not fucking those nymphs. He is about to. But
Yes.
he needs to create a fantasy in order to be interested in sex anymore.
Yes.
And that fantasy is being bitten and devoured by the sexiest goth chick he's ever
Ay.
met in his life. So she's simultaneously standing there being like, this fucking guy is really just like hanging out with these nymphs. And then she's realizing that like, oh yeah, but nothing's ever going to be like me, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And she's
You
like, and she
still-
loves it.
oh yeah.
Well, because he's
Her
literally like,
confidence.
bite me. Not too hard to get my blood in your mouth,
like,
but
yeah,
bite
but
me.
just like,
And then
give me
he's
a
like,
little
no, but
bite.
harder. No, but harder. And
Oh,
she's like,
but
I'm
like-
biting as hard as I fucking can. And he's like, ugh, leave me alone then. She's
Yeah,
like, "Dude,
yeah.
It's not even worth it now.
It's not even worth it. And I love this. I love this because, I love yearning. I love yearning and romance. And I think like
Yeah.
often we talk about yearning as a thing that is separate from sex or like can be. And like in this case, their like first like kind of hookup is really early in the book, right? They have no
Mhm.
feelings for each other. They don't even know each other. But it's
Mhm.
smoking hot because of the yearning. And he
Yeah.
wants this experience so badly. He wants her so badly. And his like inner narrative is like him trying desperately to like both conjure her up to get
Yeah.
off, but also I don't need to
Keep her
conjure
at
her because
arm's
she
length.
doesn't control me. Like
That's exactly right. Yeah, he wants to protect himself while still conjuring her. And what he doesn't realize in this moment is that just like Joe, what he's actually like, yes, vampire bites are orgasmic, sure. Yeah, it's a novel experience, but one of the things that's novel about it is that he is actually forming a connection with one of his bed partners. That's never happened before.
That's never happened before, and he doesn't like it, and he's not here for
but
it.
He loves it.
But he loves it, and he
doesn't know what
wants
to do.
more. And so he's dedicating time to tracking her down.
Also, he's supposed to be killing Nyx this whole
He's
time,
supposed
right?
to, yes.
That's why he's actually here.
He keeps telling himself, like, oh, no, I'm going to get back to that. That's in the back of my head. Like, it's on my list. I just got to do this right quick.
Rune.
Right?
Like how much lag time is there between you doing missions while everyone else was asleep the last 500 years, you know?
I know.
Listen.
But listen,
Well, and
I'm
so
not
the
mad
next-
at honestly, live your best life, Rune.
Yeah, truly.
Enjoy.
So the next important thing that I can remember happening, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he follows her to find out where she lives, but she ends up seeing Nyx and a boy that she finds that she figures out is Thaddeus, her brother.
Yes.
With Nyx.
Yes.
And so he's there to kill Nyx. She sees the trajectory of the arrow he's pointing, and it is in her mind at her baby brother.
Exactly.
So she ends up attacking him on this roof and pushing him through all of the floors
Body
of the
slamming
building.
him.
Yes. Into the basement.
Yes.
And then that turns horny because she's obviously straddling him. And why would she be wearing underwear? You know what I mean? She thought she might see him tonight. So she's in a slutty McSlutterson dress, which I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And he's realizing that oh shit, she dressed up for me. Incredible, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. This is horny, actually.
2 peas in a
I
pod.
love them. But then, right in this area...
God bless this mess. They're both such...
truly.
Yeah.
Truly. But now he thinks that she has protected Nyx.
Yes.
So he's
exactly.
I need to get a hold of her and keep her because, A, she's drunk my blood. And I don't know much about her, but if she is a certain kind of vampire, she's going to know my memories. She'll see my memories.
Yes. Drink your memories. Yes.
Yeah. And then B, now that I know she's an ally of Nyx, I need every piece of information I possibly can get from her. I have to do spy sex on her is the only answer.
Obviously, it's the only answer.
At all.
Yeah.
And she
it's normal.
doesn't hate it, you know?
Yeah. She's not.
She tries to fight it, but then he does manacle her in a magic manacle.
Yeah, he gets some fancy manacles from
Loa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We saw in the ice book, that one icy.
The ice book. Yeah.
Yes. Who's honestly doing great business during the Ascension.
Oh,
I'll
God.
tell you right now.
Yeah, she's this is gonna set me up for the next century.
Every day.
You know, this is her holidays in retail. You know,
100%,
this is gonna set her up for the rest of the year.
Yes. Yes. And so she is oddly excited, maybe not oddly. She's excited to be handcuffed to the bed and to be questioned.
Also,
does
he takes her to his most
castle spaceship?
No, he takes her to his most secret lair that not even any of his fellow warrior know about. And he's man, I can't believe I brought her here instead of someplace else. Why would I bring her to my inner sanctum?
Yes, exactly.
That I've never brought anyone to.
That I've never brought, exactly. But he needs to do it because he just cannot imagine having her anywhere he doesn't want this sort of memory or this experience to be corrupted. And so he needs to bring her somewhere that's only been experienced by him, right?
Yeah.
And his runes are strong, okay? And he is fully prepared to question her in the French style.
That's right.
He is I'm gonna
orgasm
question
denial.
Her. Yes,
until
exactly.
she breaks. Meanwhile, she's I can't break because the premise is flawed. I don't know anything about Nyx. Who's a Nyx? So bring it on. And when I win, you're gonna like let me go? Is that what she says? Like,
yeah, so they make a
afraid of
vow
me?
to the Lord that if she can withstand him, he'll let her go, and if she can't, she'll let him do whatever he wants to her.
Yes.
Essentially.
Yes.
And she says, but
Yes.
no sex right now. No
Yeah,
penetrative
no
sex.
penetrative sex. Yes.
Exactly.
So he's got her locked up. He decide he can't stop himself from letting her have that orgasm. He ends up just turning this into a fun, kinky sex time. And when he's done, he like literally just orgasms for days. It's also the very first oral he's finally been able to give.
Yes. And he loves his mind. He loves it.
Also,
and listen, she's crying blood tears.
Yes.
Importantly, she has pierced nipples and a pierced clit.
Yes.
And he loves that.
He's into it, but he's also like, oh, is it because you're like me? Like you were a sex slave. Like that's what sex slaves do. And so he like, and she's like, what? Like,
well, and because she's been so strong and he's never like seen powers like her before, he thinks she's really, really old.
Yes.
And once he finds out that she's 25 years old, I had a question about this.
Okay.
How bitch died when she was 11? What? How turn into a 25-year-old buxom beauty when
she
dead
is not,
Phantom?
She's not. She's millennia old.
She is the primordial.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's
From
spent
a
thousands
dying-
and
Yes.
thousands of years knocked out in that spaceship and gets here. And I assume what happened is she thought she was that young because she looked that small compared to everyone around her. But it's because she'd never had blood. Once she has the blood, she flourishes, essentially.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't think she was being fed blood when her mom knew she had a vampire dad?
She wasn't immortal yet. You don't have to start drinking blood until you're older.
Exactly.
Until you switch to immortality.
Yes.
And then she landed here after millennia of not drinking blood, which will not kill her, but it will emaciate her.
That's why she's so thin and so like weak. But she has also been in stasis. So she is effectively the oldest of her species.
Yeah.
She is the only thing left. And that's why her power, once she discovers she just needs to discover what her powers is. But she is so strong, it's crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy how powerful she is. So that's how she
you're
grows.
thinking that she had a 25-year-old body, but it was just really malnourished?
No. She was 8, but so think of it like this. She grows up on her home planet world, right? Disaster strikes. Her mom puts her in a magic bubble, right?
Kinda,
and within that magic bubble with her and Tad, she's about 8. He's a baby. And what happens is they are in stasis for millennia. For centuries upon centuries upon centuries upon centuries.
Every once in a while, she nicks her wrists and gives him her blood.
Yes, exactly. So to her, she sort of doesn't really experience it as like, obviously I've been floating in this bubble for thousands of years. But
she
like
thinks
that's
it's like a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's because they're basically like frozen kind of in space and time. Their development is arrested within the bubble. And then once they get out of the bubble and they're on Earth, she starts aging and passing time again, right? But what ends up happening is, so for most immortals, they don't freeze into their immortality until their teenage years. But her body, even though she is 8 years old when she lands, her body has been building up its immortal power for millennia, right? Yeah. So that's why when he shoots her, she doesn't die. When she has the blood, she powers back up again, and she's able just to grow and move through like space and time. Like it's no problem. She like, her body is like, burr, 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 let's go, right? But she is where sort of a Lothair would have been, but Lothair had to actually live through all that time.
Yes.
She was floating in a bubble. Right? Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So, yes. So that's why she's incredible. That's why Rune immediately, when he meets her, he thinks that she must be so old. And that's why it blows his mind, because he's like,
I love
this
it.
doesn't
He's
make any
like,
sense.
I'm a fucking cradle robber.
Yeah, I'm a creep.
Yeah, like he thinks I'm a creeper, and also he can't square her strength and her command of her power with her age, because again, for everyone else who is a regular immortal, you turn 20 or whatever, you freeze into your immortality, your powers are still brand new. Like you're still being like, okay, I guess
I'm a baby deer.
What are these fangs? Ugh.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Well, and I love that, because he also can't believe how much command she has in her sense of self.
Yes.
And like her point of view on things is very crystallized.
Yes.
In a way that he has not seen in any kind of younger person.
Right. So it's sort of like it's blowing his mind. He has failed. He has failed at this questioning. He realizes that he has failed, because he gets so caught up in giving her pleasure that it gives him pleasure. I think he comes from eating her out.
He does a couple of times.
And like he
days. This is days of him toying with her and like doing sexy times.
Yes. And she's all like, let's do it again. And he looks at her and she's covered in blood tears and she's like gung ho. And
her
he realizes,
though, are bleeding because of like pulling against the manacles. And very importantly, so the manacles that he got, this was like a life-changing experience for her, because one of her biggest fears is that she will become intangible in her sleep and float into the sky. Because she has historically had times where she has fallen asleep and then floats into the earth. And she's like, oh my God, if I had gotten stuck, that would be
it would have been
horrifying.
Over. Yeah.
And these manacles make her, they force her,
they anchor
to
her.
stay corporeal. And so even when because she has it took a long time for her to be able to stay corporeal when she's feeling emotions and things like, and like just feeling anything really intensely. And so they forced her unintentionally. He gave her a dream experience.
Yeah. And he just like, he realizes that he has lost.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just like, shit. But it's also, as he's going through this and throughout these chapters, he has flashbacks to his experience with like Queen Mog, and like, you know, he's like flashing back to like what he experienced, why it was so like horrifying for him, why it's sort of unpacking like why this whole situation kind of makes him so uncomfortable. But he also he's comforted by her. She falls asleep on his chest and he's like, oh, God damn, this feels really good. Like he is struggling. And he also is, so he doesn't know who Thaddeus is. He doesn't understand that Thaddeus is her brother. He doesn't understand that because Joe does not volunteer that information.
No.
Because she is loyal. She is ride or die. She will protect her brother till the end. And so, like, also low-key, he's, like, jealous.
Well, yeah. So when they figure out what's going on, he is like, I'm going to kill Nyx. And she's like, yes. Also, well, okay, wait, no. Because I forgot to tell them about the big fight with Nyx and everything that Nyx told her.
Yeah.
Did that happen yet, Sabrina?
I don't know. No,
it hasn't happened yet. Okay, good.
Yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
This is
let's
just
get
at
to
the
there.
point. Yeah.
So,
they've agreed that they're going to get Nyx.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Or maybe.
But
no, not quite. So basically, he ends up putting a tracking rune on her while she sleeps in his arms. And then when he sticks to his end of the bargain, drops her off in New Orleans, and then stalks her across the city and realizes Nyx is following her. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to keep my eyeballs on that. I'm not going to attack Nyx yet. I want to see what they're doing because I want to know what's going on.
Listen in.
Yeah.
This is also when he finds out she's 25 and that he is a creepy old pervert.
Yes.
And then she he overhears her talking to Nyx, and now there's this big fight scene, and I'm not going to talk about who's in what point of view. It's crazy. Saying, but it's insane because we really see this is our first time seeing Nyx in battle. I think. Boy, Nyx, terrifying. You should be a goddess because you're terrifying. So basically, Nyx looks at Jo and says, "Okay, Josephine, you rare and wondrous thing, such untapped potential. Your death and death all rolled into one. Mm-hmm. There's only a handful of your kind." And then she's like, "Okay, well, tell me what you know." And she says, "You come from a long, 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 long way away. You remember flames replacing seas, a hand holding up the night, broken stars, and spiders' eyes." And she's thinking, so she gets snippets. She gets like weird memories sometimes that she can't really place. And we find out that they're actual memories because when she's in that bubble, she's seeing the star. She's literally seeing solar systems and galaxies be born as she's traveling through. Like I have full body chills right now.
Incredible. It's incredible.
Then they start fighting essentially. Because Nyx
he starts shooting arrows at her. And then Nyx creates like a lightning cocoon around she and Jo. And then she just starts breaking Jo's bones and telling her what to do. Being like, "You're going to find out information on Orion for me," breaks a femur. "You're going to do X, Y, and Z," breaks an arm.
Mm-hmm. Well, and importantly, he can't hear anything that's happening. No. Because she's like basically whispering to her. And like, boy, she's also like, she's also giving her tips on fighting, though. She's like, the fact that you're letting me do this to you right now is insane. And Jo's like, "I'm not letting you do anything." And Nyx is like, "Bitch, why aren't you in the ground? You can go ethereal. Like, why are you giving me the opportunity to lay a single hit on you?" And like basically giving her fighting advice during all
she's
this.
She's like, "Your powers are way more mental than you realize."
Yeah.
Like you have more untapped power inside that you haven't discovered yet. Figure your shit out is what she tells Jo.
Exactly. So
he finally gets through. Nyx lets the cage down and does her fucking lightning bolt teleport that we learned she can do in this book. Wow. Like, it's so interesting. I want to read every Nyx scene. I feel like I just wish I could pull all of her
Nyx
scenes
compilation
out. And just like read that until this is insane, but I might go do that before Nyx's book. Whenever Nyx's book comes out, like I just in preparation, I want to go read every Nyx scene.
Are Nyx and Orion mates?
Book. Worth it? I think so. I think
so too. Right? That's got to be.
This is my theory.
I think so too.
Because I don't think anybody else could match her. I don't think anybody else could contain her. I mean, because you're right. Up until this point, we have not seen the level. Nyx's power up until this point has mainly been manipulation. It's mainly been like, we haven't really seen her in battle. And so seeing her in battle is incredible. It is also a moment
at the end of this book, seeing all of the ties that she, because like, you see the way all of the little crazy things that she, like everyone's like, baddie Nyx. And then like, it all comes together, or not all of her.
She is like, Nyx is living in multiple timelines at once. It's insane. And so it is also, though, this is your first clue that Jo is not a regular immortal, because no one else could have survived this. Don't get me wrong, Nyx whoops her ass, but she's still here. And like, that is actually something.
Thing, though, is like, anybody else would have died, but even still, even with that, Nyx was still going easy on her.
Yes. Nyx was holding back.
Nyx was a cat playing with a little tiny rat. In her cage. And so when the cage finally comes down,
he freaks out. he loses
been
his
freaking
ever-loving
out.
shit.
He ends
yeah.
up grabbing her, tracing her back to his sanctuary, and healing her, and doing
He's feeding
putting
her
healing.
blood.
Yes.
She's in a
Runes all over
coma
her
He's
for like
putting
5
runes
days.
on her body.
Yeah, healing runes with his blood.
She
Yeah.
does a little bit of a half wake up at one point, and she's like, Thaddeus, and he's like,
Excuse
Oh.
me.
I thought we
Who
had
this motherfucker is?
I thought we-
I thought we had
Yeah.
a moment. I thought we
Yeah,
had a
'cause-
4-day
yeah.
fuck fest that meant something
Yeah.
to not just me, but it
Yeah.
didn't mean anything
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
me.
because Thaddeus ain't here right now, bitch.
That's right. That's right. Is
He
Thaddeus
is. Yeah.
at your bedside in your direst hour? No.
yes.
And so he's like, okay, well, there's obviously somebody I have to kill. That's fine.
Yeah, that's his. Yeah, he actually talks himself. He talks himself all the way around to being like, well, she's just mine, and I'll just kill Thaddeus. Like, it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, it all makes sense. This all tracks. Everything I'm doing is fine and does not need any questioning or examining.
It's also kind of interesting because, we have hit on. It's fine. I'm just going to connect Immortals After Dark to Tanria again.
Great.
Because one of the things, it was super funny actually, Alexis, that when we were doing Dark Sky, there were about 8,000 different times that I was like, oh my god,
Oh my God, and this
referenced
is
that
like Tanria.
fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done it if I hadn't read them basically back to back. But
Amazing.
But she could write a
going through-
dissertation on how they are the same book, roughly.
I support this.
It's fine.
I support
I have
this.
my red string. But the most important part is one of the things that Melody and I really started talking about in God damn it, what is that?
The undercutting of Rosie and Adam?
That
What?
Hades and Persephone book is where the conversation
Oh,
started.
God damn it. Oh.
Golly, it was so good too.
Is it Fools something? I'm gonna try and figure it out. Rachel,
Yeah, you look it up, and I'll
Alexander.
keep talking because I'm gonna catch Alexis up. Because one of
I
the
like
conversations that Melody and I started in that book was we really dug into how you keep talking to gods like they're human and they're not.
They're not.
Like,
Receiver
you
of
are
Many
putting-
by Rachel Alexander.
Yes.
Oh, this
It's-
has been on my Okay, now I need to.
You
should
have to read it.
It is
This has
so
been on my
good. Like she has
TBR.
clearly done so much research and
Yeah.
really took the plot essentially.
We had
of
to do
Hades and
multiple weeks to do this book.
Ugh.
Yeah, because it was just so good. But one of the things
I'm
that
locked
Melanie and
in.
I really started jumping on and kind of diving into, and it's come up a couple of times in books since then, as in comparison, is you're putting human characteristics on these beings.
Yes.
That's simply not
Nope.
They're not applicable.
realistic.
No.
And it's not even, you can't even put you could, to an extent, you can humanize other creatures. You know what I mean? Like on some level, like you live in, you're a werewolf, but you live in this society. So
Yes.
and you live a relatively normal life. And one of the things in IAD that comes up over and over is these people, these beings that have lived so long. Like we were talking about how
Yes.
Lothair has gone banana cuckoos because he's just
Yes.
so old. And
Yes.
I think they're not deities, but they're on that same level where
Yes.
they're not working in the same
No.
way, the same world that
No.
we're living in. And then you jack that thing up to 99 with the
Yes.
Warrior because they
Yes.
are so old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
This- Yes.
him being well, I'll just kill him. It's
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense to you, bud.
Yeah, Earth
like-
for us is a home. For them, this is a location.
This
This
is
is
the
a
world's
vacay.
largest ball of yarn on a road trip for the
Yeah,
Warrior.
yes.
Yeah,
yes. Yeah. And there's no I think that it can be I'm going to say as a as a
Ooh.
hag, as an elder millennial,
As a crone.
into my 40s, which listen, listener, your 40s are great. Enjoy them. I will say I definitely have moments in my life where I realize it's almost like I have to do sort of a physical reordering of the world to be like, oh, right, this way that I'm used to thinking about the world, because it's how I experience the world sort of in my prime time, it like just does not exist, right? And I have to be able to get comfortable and just adapt and realize that like people who are young, like, which is wonderful. I mean, I'm not like ancient, but like, you know, like
totally.
It feels
that
ancient
the world
sometimes,
shifts,
and I'm not
right?
even in my 40s yet.
And like, and there are certain things in this world that I have come to realize that I'm like, oh, like I had, like when Snapchat came out, I was like, oh, I'm too old for this and I won't learn.
Already,
like I know this about myself already.
Yep,
I can't
same.
learn this. Babe, I'm gone. I'm gone. Like send me a text like the old tomes have foretold, okay?
Quite.
And so there are things in this world that I find myself like being like, I'm just not going to learn, and that's okay, right? Because like I'm a human being, like, you know, my time on earth will end at some point, like whatever, right?
And is limited overall.
And it's limited, right? Overall. But as an immortal creature, you don't really have that choice, right?
Sure.
And so these creatures, at one point,
if they'd stuck to what they knew and chose not to learn, we would have the first book with him chewing off his leg and never doing anything but shitting in a chamber pot instead of learning to drive.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Like, so like they have to adjust. At one point, he tells Joe that he is 7 millennia old, which is like crazy. And so like, I think that one of the things that I really love about this book is that he, in the same way that Joe is sort of outside of society because she doesn't know what she is, and half the time she's incorporeal, you know, she has no corporeal body. He experiences the same thing because it's just really hard for him to sort of be in this world as an active participant. And so that's why I think Nyx is actually genius. The book is genius. Nyx is genius.
What
because,
Nyx
like,
does to them?
He can't care about this world in the same way that even a Lothair can, right?
Yeah.
Who has some sort of, he just can't. It's too much. It's too new. He's been around for too long. And so,
because
like,
at least Lothair still has ties to this world.
To this world.
And this
Rune
world is
does
just
not.
an assignment to him.
Exactly. And so, like, even his attachment to Joe, like, he feels as he is healing her and doing all these runes and going through the whole thing, he feels like he is losing his mind because, like, this is not the experience he has. He does not come to these worlds and get attached. He does not come to these worlds and, like, frankly give a shit about what happens on them because, like, who cares, babe? Like, they are going to be gone in a blink of an eye. I will outlive them. I have outlived them. And so this is so new for him, just like it's new for her. And so in that way, they are effectively at the same level, right? Yeah. And it's a very smart move to kind of put them. He is not the ancient mortal who knows everything.
That's right.
He too is having a novel experience, right? And that moment of vulnerability where they sort of trade information, the relief that he feels when he finds out Thaddeus is her brother and not like her lover, like they are both experiencing this for the first time. And he is interpreting it through his lens, obviously, right? But like they are on the same level. And I think it's so clever and it's so smart and the writing is so great. And like I love watching this like hurt comfort scene, reading this hurt comfort scene because of that. Like, mwah.
Thank you for listening. Next week, Alexis, Sabrina, and I will be back with the second half of Sweet Rune by Kresley Cole. Heaving Bosoms is produced by us, Melody Carlisle and Sabrina Bradley. Editing is done by me, Melody Carlisle. Our theme music is by the incredible singer-songwriter Brittany Fonts, and our art is by the ultra-talented author Kate Pryor. If you like our show, remember to follow us on your favorite podcast app, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review. That one small action is a huge way to help the show. If you want to get in touch with us for advertising inquiries or anything else, you can email us at heavingbosomespodcast@gmail.com. If you want more of us, visit patreon.com/heavingbosomspodcast. You can also find us on Instagram at Heaving Bosoms, on TikTok at Heaving_Bosoms, and in our Facebook group, the Heaving Bosoms Geriatric Friendship Cult. See you next week.